Hey guys, come on, get on up out of that bed. Man, it is cold out here. There's much frost on the pumpkin this morning, boy. I mean, there's frost everywhere. What a great day it's going to be. Hope you guys are ready to kill it today as well. Hey, there's a few good men out there, and I want to tell you the reason I'm saying that. My family gets on to me a lot of times. They'll say, man, you hammer these guys. You're always saying what they don't do. You need to reach out sometimes and say the good things that they do. And it made me feel about that tall. I said, man, you're right. You know I do. I hammer these guys pretty hot and heavy sometimes. But I want to tell you something. We've got some of the most outstanding men on the planet in Iron Sharpens Iron Mastermind group. Now, I got to confess a couple of things to you, though, in regards to telling you how happy I am and excited about the good job that they do. I planned an event coming up pretty soon, and there was a number of guys that I invited to this event. And one of the guys that I knew were going to be there, I mean, it was no question. He needed to be there, and I needed him to be there. And he turned me down bigger than Dallas. He was like, I can't make it. And I'm like, well, what is the deal? Where are you going to be? And he said, well, my 17-year-old daughter graduates from high school this year. She's going to be going off to college, and she's got an event at school. And parents are asked to be there, and I don't want to miss it. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I mean, this is a big deal event. And he's like, hey, let me tell you something. This is a big deal. This is my daughter. And then I started thinking about it. I said, you know, he's doing exactly what I've been teaching all these years. And it excited me. After I got mad, it excited me to think that he would stand up and honor his daughter more so than a business transaction. I want to tell you something, guys. I didn't always do a great job at this early on in my career when I was a young guy. Years and years ago, I was so focused on making money and having stores and tangible possessions and things like that. It almost got me in trouble. It didn't, but it almost got me in trouble. And I started thinking about what's really valuable and what's important. And a couple of decades ago, kind of straightened myself up, and I said, you know, family is vital. They're important. They're paramount in everything that we do. And you guys that have been around the community a long time hear me say this all the time. You better be careful, because you'll come home with a pocket full of money to a house full of strangers. And guys, I don't want that to happen to you. I want you to take the stand like this businessman did. This was going to be a very, very good situation for him to be involved in, and he set it aside for the benefit of his family. There's another guy in the mastermind group that got a divorce not too long ago, and he's got 2 small children. And his kids come on the mastermind call sometimes. They jump up in his lap, you know, and they run around, they're playing and things. And I'm thinking to myself, like, man, can't they go in the playroom and give you an hour? And one day I was talking to him about it, and he said, you know what, I don't get my kids but every couple of weeks. And you or this mastermind or nothing else is more important than my kids. Well, I've grown to love these kids over the years now, seeing that he really pours into them and he really honors his time with them. Man, I'm going to tell you, that's admirable. When you think about that, when a guy will elevate his family above everything else, are you doing that today? Are you forsaking your family at the altar of the dollar, or getting that promotion, or satisfying that desire within you over and above your family? Guys, I want to encourage you not to do that. Man, did I almost do that. And I want to tell you, it's not worth it, right? The office doesn't have a memory, but your kids do, and your wife does. I'll tell you this guy's name because it's no stranger to all of you. Dan Miller has been my mentor now for over 2 decades. Literally, we've been in Mastermind together every week for a couple of decades. And the guy has just absolutely rocked my world in so many arenas. And so thank you, Dan. I don't know if you're ever going to see this, but thank you for all you've done for me. It's because of Dan that I'm coaching. It's because of Dan, everything that I'm doing now is a result of his teaching. So he's an amazing guy. If you're ever looking for somebody to teach you also how to be an amazing coach, I recommend 48 Days to the Work You Love highly. Dan Miller is just a man above reproach. He is just an amazing guy, and I just want to take my hat off to you today, Dan, and tell you thank you. But I called Dan a year ago and said, hey, I want you to speak at the Iron Sharpens Iron live, mastermind meetup here in Nashville. And he goes, when do you want me to speak? And I told him, and it was a Friday night. And he said, I can't do it. I said, what do you mean you can't do it? I got to have you. And he said, I can do it Saturday night, but I can't do it Friday night. I said, we've already got it scheduled. I mean, like, Friday night's when I need you. And he said, I can't do it. I said, Dan, I wouldn't ask this normally, but where are you going? He said, I've got a date night with Joanne. I said, a date night? Can she not wait till Saturday night? And he started laughing. And he said, Aaron, I've been married 51 years. And the way I got there was by keeping my commitments. And nothing is going to take the place of date night, including you and your live event. Well, after I got upset, I hugged him when I saw him, and I said, thank you, man, for being such an example to all of us. Guys, that's the kind of mentor that we need. We need guys in our life that challenge us, that stand up for exactly what they believe, and they put their family first. And I want to encourage you to do that today. Some of you are faced with hard decisions right now. You're like, man, I don't know what to do. I want to tell you right now, err on the side of your family. Do not sacrifice your family. You know, those kids, when they're about 16, 17, they go on their merry way. You only get one go through with them. You don't get a do-over. This is it. I mean, this is not a practice. This is the time that you're going to spend with those kids and with your wife. And man, what an inspiration Dan was to me in keeping my commitments to Robin and the things that I tell her to do. I love having great men in my life like that to be an example. So I want to encourage you guys today. Some of you are knocking it out of the park, and I'm so excited. I'm so encouraged by your example and how you stand up for your family. And I just want to say, man, way to go. Well, listen, I'm Big A, coming to you live from the Station Camp Greenway, where the frost is on the pumpkin this morning, boy. It's a cold one. You guys have a great day. We'll see you. I got to get back to my walk.